Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a new version of the Plantaris model. And this is actually a new collection that recently came out from Oakley. It's called the Polaris collection. Now, Oakley says that this is named after the North Star, which is Polaris. And it says that you can follow to express your unique personality with the confidence to push forward to new frontiers. So I really like that description. I'm reading it right off of the Oakley website, so that was really cool. Now, the other thing that I was reading on the website, which is interesting because I did not know, is that there's actually two different models in this collection. One is Abyss Galaxy, and the other one is Fern Galaxy. So the one that we have here is actually the Abyss Galaxy one, and I'll show you guys what that means. But it's interesting that they noted that, so there's probably another color variation of the Plantaris coming out. Now, if you guys follow the channel, you know that I quickly fell in love with the Plantaris model to the point that I've tried to collect as many of the ones that have come out as possible. I currently, with this one, have all of the standard colorways that were released. And when I say standard, I mean whatever was available either through an Oakley store or through the Oakley website as a regular release. Now, there's three models that I'm actually looking for. I know one of them I am never going to pick up, and that is the TI, or the Titanium Plantaris. That was such limited release, and it was so expensive, and it sold out very, very quickly. So I'm, not holding my breath on trying to pick that one up. The other two are the Satisfy one. That was a collaboration between Oakley and Satisfy. And then the other one was the Podpa, and I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, which is an exclusive release to Oakley Brazil. Now, the reason I'm mentioning that is if you guys follow my videos and you either own one of those, either the Satisfy or the Podpa, and you're interested in either selling or trading or something like that, please hit me up. Let me know. Put a comment in the description. Maybe we can work something out. Or if you know somebody that has it, let them know that I would be very interested, because I want to get as many in the collection as possible. Okay, enough yapping. Let's go ahead and take a look at the glasses here. Now, I have recorded other videos on the Plantaris model, so if you guys are interested in seeing those, I will annotate them up here throughout the video. I think I have like 3 different videos on those. Or if not, in the description below, I'm going to put a link to my playlist of Oakley videos, so you guys can find all of my videos on Oakley related stuff that I've posted on YouTube in that playlist, and you'll also be able to see the Plantaris ones there. So again, this one is part of the Polaris collection, and this is the matte transparent Abyss frame color in the prism gray polarized lenses, and I'm hoping you guys can see that there. All right, so really, really awesome pair. This is one of those pairs that the treatment on the actual glasses looks a lot better once you see them up close, just because from far away they are a little dark, depending on if they're sitting on a shelf or what they look like. But so they might tend to look a little darker. Maybe sometimes they might look darker, like a black, like a polished black or something like that. So this is really cool when you see it, like with sun shining on them and stuff like that outside. They look really, really awesome. So all of the Plantaris models do come with the hard case here. I know I've gotten some questions before regarding what cases fit the Plantaris model, and that's because it does have that extra nose piece, so it's a little bit different, the cases, but they all do come with the cases. So if they didn't, then maybe you can reach out to Oakley and let them know. But they do come with a case, so we'll go ahead and open up the case here. And then obviously they will come with your microfiber bag. So let's go ahead and get that out, and we'll take a look at them. Right. And there we go. Here they are. Again, really, really cool looking frame. I'm not going to spend too much time on the frame itself because, again, I've done a couple of videos on this frame already, but it's just the color. This is, again, the matte transparent Abyss frame color, part of the Polaris collection. So it's this, it's kind of like a matte blue, obviously Abyss, being blue. And the way it looks like is the top of the frame here is a little bit more transparent than the bottom of the frame, or at least that's the way that I see it. So it's interesting. That is a really, really cool color. Again, from far away, they might look black, matte black or something like that. But once you have them up close, and hopefully when I turn the camera around and show you guys when I put these on, you might be able to appreciate it a little bit nicer. So a couple of things that I do want to mention. Obviously, you do get the treatment, the matte transparent Abyss treatment all the way through, and then when it gets to the end of the stems right here, you do have that very iconic Plantaris stem there. So really, really awesome, and it is unobtainium on there, so it is rubberized. The same thing with your nose pieces here. You do have the unobtainium on there, and then you do have your prism gray polarized lenses. Again, because this lens is polarized, you are going to see the word prism and then a P after that, denoting that it is a polarized lens. Now, a couple of things that I did notice is they went with a kind of gold icon here, the elliptical icon, which is interesting. I like that. I think gold and blue, you know, are colors that mix very well. They go together with each other. But they didn't do that with the little lug down here, which is interesting because I think in some of the other models, the little lug there matches the color of the icon because it is a little bit of a piece of metal right there at the end. So again, I don't know why they didn't do that. The other thing is, and I do mention this in some of my videos, I think Oakley sometimes kind of misses the mark on doing something really, really awesome. I can tell you that I would have loved for them to have done a 24K lens on this. A gold lens on this frame to match the icon would have definitely set this frame off. It would have been really, really, and it would probably have been my favorite colorway that they would have done in the Plantaris. One more thing is, if you're not going to do the gold lenses, I would have done the gold lug right there to match the icon, but then done the nose piece here in gold also. I think that would have looked really cool. Now again, to some folks, they might be like, whoa, that's a little over the top or something like that, but this frame is the type of frame to do that with, just because it already looks over the top. Again, when you're wearing it with the nose pieces, you know, a lot of people tend to say, oh, you know, I don't really like the way that looks. Some people say, I love the way it looks. I personally love the way it looks. I normally do not wear my Plantarises without the nose piece, just because I think it's just part of it. It just makes it look complete to me. Now, they still look really nice without it, so if you don't want to wear it or something like that, then, you know, you don't really have to. That actually does come off. So you guys can see right there very easily. You know, I just kind of rip them off, but you can, you know, you obviously lift these up to take it out and stuff like that. But, you know, I've done it enough times that I know that I can do that safely. So again, they still look really cool. You know, obviously a lot of people tend to compare the look of these, obviously without the end right there, to like X metals. Some people say they look like Juliet. Some people say they look like the double X's or something like that. I just think they look very, very unique, especially with the, you know, the nose piece there. So I always tend to wear mine with the nose piece just because I do like the way that that looks. It gives it more of a complete look, in my opinion. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that other colorway. So again, this is the matte transparent Abyss frame. The website says that there should be a Fern Galaxy paint treatment. That's what they're calling it. So the Abyss Galaxy paint treatment and the Fern Galaxy paint treatment. So obviously if that does come out, I'll keep my eyes on it and try and pick it up to add it to the collection. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around. I will put these on. Let's see if the color changes a little bit so you can get a little bit of a better look at what this actual color looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and put these on. Here they are before I put them on my face. Again, really, really cool blue, deep, kind of deep blue there, transparent on the, a little bit more transparent on the top, a little bit darker on the bottom there. So I'll put these on. And as I mentioned, I always wear them with the nose piece. I think it completes the look, so I prefer to do that. If you haven't seen this style before or this pair before, obviously at first glance you're going to say, wow, those look really weird, those look really cool. Again, some people really like them, some people don't like them at all. I'm of the really like them pair or side, just because I just think it's quintessential Oakley. You know, when I saw this pair originally, or this style originally, I said, you know, there we go. That's Oakley going back to its roots, to putting stuff out that is unconventional, that looks different, but it fits it and it performs very, very well. So again, this is part of the Polaris collection. This one being the matte transparent Abyss frame with the prism gray polarized lenses. It's a great everyday pair. Don't get me wrong. You know, this is one of those that if you don't want to wear just like a black pair or, you know, something like that, you know, this blue color is something that you could definitely wear every day. Now, I am wearing a blue t-shirt right now, as you guys can see, so it kind of matches it really nice. But it's one of those pairs that, even though the style itself is so out of the ordinary. It's not a flashy color like some of the other colors in the Plantaris collection. So if you're looking for something a little bit more subdued, you're still getting the polarized lenses. It's still a great lens. So I know a lot of folks tend to ask like, hey, can you still see my eyes and stuff like that? Because it is a polarized lens, it's going to block the glare a lot better. Gray is not going to be as dark as a black lens is, but you know, they've done some really good things, and especially if the frame is a little bit darker, then it tends to darken up the lenses as well. So I don't think it would be a problem, you know, if you want to wear these when you're out and about and stuff like that. It's not something that people are going to be able to see your eyes very, very well, but again, it's not as dark as black, so just keep that in mind. But I think this is a really, really awesome pair. I love this color combination. I love the fact that it's almost all blue all the way around. Some of the other styles do have like a different color on the top and a different color on the bottom. Some of them are the same all the way around. I tend to prefer the ones that are the same color all the way around, even though, like I showed you guys and talked about, the tops tends to be a little lighter than the bottom. When you have them on, they tend to darken up, and it looks all one color. But really, really awesome style. So as I mentioned, if you guys are interested, you know, feel free to check out some of the other videos on the other colorways of the Plantaris collection, or if not, check out that playlist that I'll leave in the description of the video below. That has all of my Oakley videos on there, so you guys can go ahead and check out the other ones or any other model that you might be interested in checking out. So there it is. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.